Surveys find that roughly 80% of Gen Z believe in astrology to some degree. 72% of those Gen Z and millennials allowed astrology to influence major life decisions like romance, health, work, and education.
Neil deGrasse Tyson expresses concern about the prevalence of belief in astrology among younger generations, highlighting that while it is a free country and individuals may choose to believe whatever they want, reaching 100% belief could undermine scientific progress. He fears a regression to a society where unexplained phenomena are ascribed to mysterious forces rather than understood through evidence-based inquiry. Tyson emphasizes the importance of science as a candle in the dark, a way to illuminate the unknown and build civilization through objective truth. He acknowledges that while some mysteries remain, the scientific method provides tools to explore and solve many of them. By encouraging curiosity and critical questioning, he suggests that people should be wary of settling for easy answers or comforting illusions that astrology might provide, urging a foundation of knowledge rather than belief without evidence.
We are literally composed of stardust. So when people think they're different, they have DNA in common with all of the life forms on Earth. Like, you have 20% identical genes to a banana.
Tyson eloquently describes how humanity is not separate from the universe, but intrinsically connected to it. Tracing elements such as hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen from the Big Bang and stellar processes, he highlights that the very atoms in our bodies were forged in ancient stars. This connection means that our differences are minor compared to our profound biological and chemical similarities with all life on Earth, extending even to plants and fungi. He uses this as a launching point to advocate for a cosmic perspective, which can dissolve divisions such as race, nationality, and religion by showing people their shared origins. This sense of oneness challenges tribalism and conflict, positioning humanity as participants in a vast unfolding story. Tyson's perspective blends scientific understanding with a spiritual awe, finding beauty, humility, and kinship in being part of the cosmic tapestry.
If knowing you're going to die brings focus and purpose and resolve and action, then if you live forever, what's your hurry? For me, knowing I'm going to die gives meaning to my remaining life.
Tyson reflects on mortality as a fundamental force shaping human life and happiness. He suggests that finite lifespan sharpens our priorities, intensifying purpose and productivity. Without an anticipated end, an infinite amount of time would paradoxically undermine meaning, as motivation and urgency would evaporate. His personal experience of losing both parents framed his horizons and commitment to live a meaningful life, encapsulated in his desired tombstone inscription from Horace Mann: "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity." This encapsulates the ethical aspiration to contribute positively to the world. He emphasizes that meaning is not something found passively, but created actively through learning, reducing suffering, and sharing wisdom. This perspective offers an alternative to nihilism, positioning life's limited scope as a gift that empowers intentional living.
When you look at burial grounds, the Neanderthal buried their dead with things, with parts of their life, of the person who died. Now, why would you do that unless you had some belief that there was something more to come for that person?
Tyson explores the origins of religious belief as a defining characteristic of human evolution and society. He points to archaeological evidence indicating that early hominids like Neanderthals practiced ritual burials, suggesting belief in some form of afterlife or continued existence beyond death. He connects this to ritual's role as a powerful social glue, binding communities through shared practices and enforced groupthink. Religion historically conditioned behavior, shaped moral codes, and delineated group boundaries, often leading to conflict. Tyson's balanced view acknowledges religion's societal importance while recognizing the dangers when beliefs become exclusionary or unquestioned. He advocates understanding diverse religious perspectives deeply to foster dialogue rather than confrontation, and encourages curiosity beyond fixed answers.
People value what they think is true more than what is true. That's a recipe for the unraveling of civilization as we know it. But as a scientist, show me the data.
A critical theme Tyson emphasizes is the conflict between subjective belief and objective reality. He cautions that societies often prioritize entrenched opinions or tribal narratives over evidential truths, jeopardizing cohesion and progress. He points out that ignorance or denial of scientific facts can lead to policy decisions that ultimately harm civilization. His role as a scientist is to anchor discourse in data, advocating for evidence-based reasoning as essential to maintaining stable institutions and governance. Tyson highlights the responsibility of educators, communicators, and media to bridge gaps in understanding and combat misinformation, underscoring the importance of intellectual humility and openness to new knowledge.
As a scientist, it's disturbing how easily people divide each other based on skin color, religion, what food you eat, what language they speak, and then they find some other philosophy that differs, and then they go to war. But when I step back with a cosmic perspective, you realize how ridiculous it is.
Tyson argues for adopting a cosmic perspective, contemplating humanity's place within the vast universe as a means to counteract the tribalism and conflict that plague societies. Looking at Earth from space reveals a fragile, singular habitat with oceans, land, and atmospheres where divisions based on skin color or ideology become trivial in comparison. He laments how easy it is for humans to fragment into opposing groups and forget their shared origins and fate. This perspective fosters empathy, cooperation, and awe, encouraging stewardship of our planet and respectful coexistence. Tyson links this outlook to the stability of civilization and expresses concern about trends toward division, advocating for science literacy and education as ways to promote broader understanding.
And what do you think is the probability of me getting to another planet in my lifetime?
Zero. Zero.
Really?
Yeah.
Tyson presents a pragmatic and historically informed view on human interplanetary travel. He explains that monumental undertakings like the Apollo moon landings are driven by political and economic motives, not merely scientific curiosity or adventure. The Cold War rivalry spurred the moon goal, and once that geopolitical imperative faded, funding and ambition to continue stopped. Present-day projects like Artemis and aspirations for Mars lack equivalent drivers strong enough to support such costs and risks. Even private initiatives like those led by Elon Musk face immense financial and technical challenges without clear business models. Tyson points out the immense distances, timelines, and resources involved with Mars missions, including 6 to 9 months travel time and multi-year round-trip duration. This sober assessment tempers popular enthusiasm with realism about what motivates and enables humanity's next steps into space.
Escape velocity keeps going up. Eventually, the escape velocity hits the speed of light. At that point, light can't even escape. Light is the fastest thing in the universe.
Tyson offers a lucid explanation of black holes that dives into both their basics and how we know they exist. He outlines the concept of escape velocity, the speed needed to break free from an object's gravity. When a body's mass becomes so dense that escape velocity exceeds light speed, a black hole forms. Since nothing, not even light, can escape such gravity, the black hole appears as a dark void in space. He stresses that black holes are not cosmic vacuum cleaners indiscriminately pulling matter in, but objects whose gravitational influence follows the same laws as any star at a distance, meaning Earth's orbit would remain stable if the Sun was replaced by a black hole of equal mass. Evidence for black holes comes from observing gravitational effects and X-ray emissions from binaries involving collapsed stars. This explanation demystifies black holes while showcasing the power of scientific inference without direct visitation.
So in the universe, we have our horizon. And if we went to that horizon, we'd have a whole other horizon beyond that. If we traveled to that horizon, there'd be a whole other horizon there.
The conversation touches on the size and structure of the universe, emphasizing that while we observe a horizon defined by the speed of light and the age of the universe, this horizon is not a boundary of the universe itself. Just as sailors see a horizon on Earth that reveals more horizon as they move forward, the cosmic horizon limits what we can detect but suggests an infinitely larger cosmos beyond. Mathematically and theoretically, the universe could be infinite, though we can only explore and measure a finite observable region. This limits our empirical knowledge and invites humility while stimulating ongoing scientific and philosophical investigation into the ultimate extent and nature of reality.
The universe is 14 billion years old, and the ingredients of life on Earth are the most common ingredients in the universe. And life began on Earth almost as quickly as it possibly could have.
Tyson argues strongly for the likelihood of extraterrestrial life existing elsewhere in the universe, based on its immense age, the ubiquity of the chemical building blocks of life, and the rapid appearance of life on Earth after it became hospitable. He explains that finding life, especially intelligent life, is challenging due to the difficulties of detecting signals and the brief window of technological civilizations. The Milky Way alone is vast, and our current searches have explored only an infinitesimal portion of it. Tyson highlights the philosophical irresponsibility of claiming we are alone without evidence, pointing instead to the abundant exoplanets discovered and the great potential for life to have emerged independently elsewhere. He also contrasts this optimistic stance with skepticism about UFO claims that lack firm evidence, underscoring the difference between unidentified aerial phenomena and confirmed extraterrestrial visitation.
I can say, ChatGPT, take this picture of us and say, ChatGPT, paint this scene in the style of Van Gogh. It'll come back, the colors will be just right. It'll have the swirling lines.
Tyson welcomes AI as a powerful transformative technology, already deeply integrated into scientific research and data analysis. He observes how AI's abilities in the arts, like generating paintings or writing text in the style of famous artists, challenge human notions of creativity. While AI can mimic and synthesize existing styles flawlessly, true creativity demands original leaps beyond known patterns. This forces human artists to reach deeper into innovation rather than replicate what machines can produce. Tyson sees AI as a tool to raise the creative bar and extend human potential rather than replace it outright. He advocates embracing AI's strengths while cultivating uniquely human imagination and critical thinking that machines cannot duplicate.
So I'm putting myself like right between them in my life expectancy. I think I'll get to 92.
Good.
It's the average of those two, you know. So when you die at that age, it's sad, but it's not tragic.
Tyson discusses his personal confrontation with mortality following the loss of both parents after long, full lives. He distinguishes between a life cut short prematurely, which he terms tragic, and a full lifespan after which death is natural and worthy of celebration. This framing influences his approach to life and death, focusing more on legacy and contributions than on fear. He values living with purpose and imparting wisdom to the next generation. This acceptance of mortality as meaningful rather than nihilistic informs his attitude toward his remaining time, encouraging productivity driven by responsibility rather than dread. The conversation highlights how embracing mortality can enhance life's significance and guide ethical and philosophical reflection.
So it may be that the most important role of church wasn't to give a specific recipe for how you pray, or again, who you pray to, or when you pray. Maybe that wasn't its greatest value. Maybe its greatest value was the community that it created.
Tyson reflects on religion's major historical role, not only in shaping beliefs, but in fostering community and social cohesion. He observes that ritual gatherings provide shared identity and support networks, which are increasingly rare in modern, more fragmented societies. While many individuals today identify as spiritual without formal religious affiliation, the dissolution of tightly knit community structures carries psychological and societal costs, including loneliness and lack of engagement. He suggests that beyond doctrines and dogma, the collective rituals and interpersonal connections forged in houses of worship serve essential human needs. This underscores the importance of communal belonging in a complex world and the challenge of replicating it in secular contexts.
Which of these, are you going to get the first universe that invented the simulated universe, or the zillion ones that followed? The dart's likely to hit one of the others. But my escape hatch.
Addressing the provocative idea that our universe might be a simulated reality created by an advanced entity or civilization, Tyson offers a thoughtful analysis. He explains that computational advancements might one day enable artificial universes inhabited by self-aware entities unaware of their own nature. Statistically, there would be many simulated universes compared to original ones, making it plausible that we exist in a simulation. Still, he reveals an escape hatch, since we cannot yet simulate a perfect universe and are uncertain if any have done so before us, we might be the original. Tyson emphasizes that whether real or simulated, our subjective experience and moral responsibility remain unchanged. He treats the simulation hypothesis not as detracting from meaning, but as an intriguing facet of exploring reality.
At no time should you overvalue your own thoughts. You should allow yourself to be humbled daily with new ideas that challenge any or everything that you currently think.
Tyson closes with a vital piece of advice about intellectual humility and continuous learning. He encourages openness to new ideas and remaining receptive to perspectives that challenge existing beliefs. This intellectual flexibility is fundamental to growth, wisdom, and creative thinking. He candidly shares a personal regret about harshly critiquing a young mentee without sufficient encouragement, stressing the power of positive teaching alongside factual honesty. Tyson advocates that mistakes and reflection are central to gaining wisdom, and that life unfolds as an ongoing process of questioning and discovery rather than possessing fixed answers. Embracing uncertainty and unknown questions is both humbling and empowering, fostering richer engagement with life.